Keanu Reeves, films he most completely ruins, and films that are actually elevated by his being in them.
Well, I think any period piece he's in, he automatically ruins. Dangerous Liaisons. I mean, it doesn't ruin the movies completely because like they're still like Dangerous Liaisons is a really good film. It's just like whenever
I don't even remember him being in Dangerous Liaisons.
He's a music teacher who is trying to woo Uma Thurman, but Uma Thurman is wooed instead by John Malkovich, and he's just like, oh, did you find the opera divine? And he's like, seriously, that's what he does. And
Wow.
It's, divine, don't you find? It's really, it's actually what quote from the film, and it's like the movie just instantly loses credibility, then gets it back as soon as he's off screen. What's the other one he's in?
Well, Dracula, Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing, where Kenneth Branagh took a chance on Keanu Reeves, and he just destroys a very small chunk of the film. It's very charming.
There are a lot of actors in that movie that are not. Denzel Washington's not very good in that movie.
No.
There's some bad stuff going on in that movie.
Kenneth Branagh has, I mean, for a Shakespeare expert or whatever he thinks he is, he doesn't know how to cast Shakespeare a lot of the time. In a lot of smaller roles, like Hamlet has just like Jack Lemmon is like the second guardsman.
I like that. I enjoyed
He's
that.
so bad. Like Gerard Depardieu.
Robin Williams is York, or not York. York, I knew.
Osric.
Well, yeah, Osric.
Yeah, yeah, it's so bad. But I think he's really good at playing dumb, endearing dumb characters. So he's good in not just Bill and Ted, but I Love You to Death. Him and William Hurt make an oddly compelling duo. And also in Parenthood, the film. He's quite really amazingly endearing.
That's actually the movie I think he's the best in.
Yeah.
His performance is actually kind of moving by the end of that movie. You kind of feel glad that he's there. He does a good job.
It's weird because he could have played those roles, but then like he's like, well, I'm semi-attractive, and his agent was like, well, you have to take these straight roles, like Point Break, which is great in Point Break.
I like Point Break.
He's amazing in Point Break.
He's so well used. I mean, he's not really amazing. He's
exactly.
so well used.
He's perfectly plugged in to a part that needed him to be in it.
So clueless. He has no idea what he's doing. Like that's perfect for the film.
Yeah.
But then if it's like The Matrix, he's not convincing.
I don't like him in The Matrix, I have to say. Probably because he doesn't speak too much. I mean, that's the probably saving grace.
Although what he does.
But I mean, there's something that's
He does look the part.
I mean, there's something that's kind of just very kind of cold. Again, in that sort of way. I mean, I don't know if he has this sort of like acting vision for the film, but for me it works somehow.
I guess he was well used in the film because I mean he's kind of a blank slate character.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like when he's being like a romantic lead or something like that, like Speed even, he's just kind of like dragging the movie down.
For me, he brought down My Own Private Idaho because the contrast between River Phoenix and him is just so glaring. And
he's doing Shakespeare in that too.
Yeah. He's a strange choice as the rich kid that tries to make like the wise decision. That's a weird. That was a weird casting choice.
I liked. He was Johnny Mnemonic, right? I'm not making that up, right? So what's great about that is such a weird '90s like post-cyberpunk relic thing that could only have happened at the moment that it happened. And for me, like that's when Keanu Reeves is kind of crystallized in time, so that the Matrix is almost like it's almost as if he's accessing that period of time for the Matrix, which could not exist without the cyberpunk stuff, and Matrix just had the benefit of him not speaking as much and having better special effects.
And the Prada code or whatever.
Yeah, but I actually think that the Matrix just as easily could have bombed, and that it's actually somewhat of a fluke that it was as big as it was. I just don't...
Well, I remember when they were advertising it, I was like, didn't they just make this movie and it was a big bomb? Like, it wasn't Johnny Mnemonic?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, that is like, that's his film. He gets that whole film, And yet, whenever I think of it now, because I haven't seen it in so long, I keep wondering if Johnny Depp was Johnny Mnemonic instead of Keanu Reeves. That's how long it's been since I've seen that film.
Before we move on, I have one Point Break question. Something that's I love the film probably as much as any of you. But one thing that's always bothered me about it, really the only thing that's bothered me about what I considered otherwise to be a pretty flawless movie, is that the ending. Is what he's been through in the film worth giving up your career for? Why does he talk about unsatisfying endings? Why does he chuck his badge into the ocean?
Honor.
That's giving.
I felt like everything about that was symbolic, because even the whole like go out to sea and you're gonna die because the waves are so intense. That's basically what happens, right?
Yeah, which is a big ending, right?
Well,
so why is the last thing you see in the movie like the badge floating in the?
Yeah, but except
it's a Dirty Harry thing.
It's in no way clear that those waves would actually kill somebody if they tried. Like it's as if it's just a given. Like, well, because they're such bad waves, we can assume that he will die. And it's like, I'd kind of like to see him die.
Don't they show like him sort of perishing? Like
So
falling
sort
into
of,
the water?
but you see him sinking into the water, which happens often when you are surfing.
Right.
Very often
the
you
wave-
are submerged
the wave-
in the water.
yeah, a skyscraper wave kind of overtakes him.
Yeah,
Although a post credits moment of him actually riding it,
Or you see
of him riding it to safety. Woohoo! I got away. That would have been amazing.
And he winds up like another country.
that might be that
Yeah.
was a generally disappointing. Everything about like the sequence of events in that ending didn't quite click for me.
Yeah, it was a very the whole Australia thing
like
was
the
a very
ocean is big.
tacked on ending. Australia looks a lot like
Yeah.
Malibu.
Yeah.
It was a really kind of bad choice to even have
Yeah.
the whole kind of coda.